eThekwini municipality has reopened 14 beaches following improved water quality standards. Now they include Point, uShaka, Addington and the Bay of Plenty among them. Several beaches, of course, were closed in recent months due to high levels of E.coli in the water, which made it unsafe to swim in. Let's discuss this now with the municipality's Head of Parks, Recreation and Culture, Dr. Simphiwe Ndlovu. Dr. Ndlovu, so 14 beaches have reopened. This is wonderful news. What did you do to reduce the E.coli levels?
Good evening, Anika, with your listeners at home. Well, I must say that as a city, we are very proud that at this stage we have managed to deal with the issues that we've been facing regarding our infrastructure. So our infrastructure has improved in some of the areas that were affected due to the floods that we were facing. So at this stage, as you've correctly pointed out, we've managed to open some of our beaches, 14 beaches, as according to the list that you've mentioned earlier on. But the improvement came on the side of our infrastructure that has improved. But I must indicate that we continue as a city trying to fix the infrastructure. It is a very difficult task, but we are up to the task as a city. And our colleagues from the Water Department have done an excellent job at this stage. So I do hope that when come end of November to December, we will be in a position where most of our beaches will be open.
Yeah, because there's the 7, and among them are some prime tourism beaches that are still closed. Laguna Beach, Umhloti, Umhlanga, Bronze Beach among them. So obviously,
Yes.
you know, I mean, Umhlanga Beach that is like, you know, that really is your prime tourist areas. That's where a lot of money
Yes.
is spent. So you're saying plans are afoot to open those beaches. What exactly has to happen now?
Look, we need to continue as a city, Anika, and ensure that we improve our infrastructure. And but where we've opened our beaches, where the E.coli has improved in a way that is below 500, we will open our beaches and we will inform our public. But where our E.coli is above 500, we will definitely close those beaches because the safety and health of our community in Durban is quite important. So we will not gamble with that. But at the moment, we will only issue a statement as the municipality on only the beaches that we've got an improved E.coli. And I can assure you that some of our E.coli is even around 10 way below 500. Looking at about 148, 10, 110, 20 E.coli. And so that's quite a very important improvement.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic news. How can you be sure the problem's not going to reoccur? Is this the end of it? Are you saying that the improved infrastructure means that it's all going to be under control from now on?
Well, look, with the kind of leadership that we have as the city, our city manager and the mayor and all the colleagues, I can assure you they're pushing us very hard. I think you've realized that in the weekend that we had a very busy weekend, and the Durban was flooded, and it was all exciting at Moses Mabhida, and you would see that there were no incident of negative incident that were reported. So our city is getting somewhere, and we are very excited. Let me assure you that if we don't face similar disasters that we've faced before, we will have all our beaches open, probably towards the around the 10th of December. So, but the mandate that we've got from our leadership is that we should get all our beaches opened by November. But of course, I'm not saying that we will not consider the E.coli. Of course, we'll do so. But our infrastructure that we are fixing that caused the problems that we are facing is improving, and the city is doing very well on that regard. So I can assure you that we're working very hard day and night to fix our infrastructure, and that will allow us to have the rest of our beaches open.
All right, so basically the city is saying, please try and reopen all the beaches in November. You're saying, look, realistically, by 10th of December, the latest, all beaches should be open. Is that what you're telling me?
That is our wishes, that is our hope, that is our prayer. And as I say to you, we work day and night to improve and fix the infrastructure. If our infrastructure in areas where it was badly affected is fixed, of course we'll have our beaches open by the first. All of our beaches by December opened. Already now we've got few, as you've correctly listed, that are not opened. But even in those beaches, the E.coli is not that so bad. It is improving, but we are closing those. So it means then, as a city, we are moving towards a direction where all our infrastructure is fixed and all our beaches will be ready for our holiday makers.
I mean, it's probably the busiest time of year for you, head of Parks, Recreation and Culture, when we know that people just love to come down to your part of the world and relax. It is heartening to hear
Yes.
that the city is getting back on its feet, because it's been such an awful time due to COVID, then of course the riots and looting and these awful, awful floods that took so many lives. Do you think that the city is going to cope with the added influx of tourists, bearing in mind that you've got ailing infrastructure, which we know predates what happened in April?
Well, look, we've always coped as a city during December time. It is nothing new to us. I think the only problem was the issue of infrastructure, and which we needed to focus and fix so that our holiday makers can enjoy themselves in our beaches. I think that was the only problem. Otherwise, if our infrastructure is ready and our beaches are clean, we are the city. We don't have any problem. We are ready. Our beaches are clean, and we've got our law enforcement on the ground for security purposes. We've got all our department working together: water and sanitation, DSW. Parks and Recreation, all the departments are working together, and we're working as a team to ensure that our city is also a city of choice when it comes to holiday for all our people in South Africa. Because I've got people, friends of mine, who are excited, who cannot wait to come to Durban. I think some of our hotels also are being booked as we speak, because people have realized that positive news are coming from Durban that our city is ready. Yes, there have been some minor glitches, but look, we are positive as a city. We're excited. We are waiting, and we welcome all our holiday makers. And I want to say, Anika, that they must come to Durban and enjoy themselves as they've done before. We are ready as a city, and we want to see them with their families, and we will ensure that our beaches are safe and clean, and the environment, and they'll enjoy themselves. So we want to encourage them to come, and that I can assure you.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to us. It is some welcome good news, and good luck with getting the other 7 beaches open. You've put your deadline early December, and let's hope you get there before then. Thank you so much for joining us. That's the head of Parks, Recreation and Culture for the city of eThekwini, Dr. Simphiwe Ndlovu. And the 7 beaches that remain closed: Westbrook, Bronze, Laguna, eThekwini, Umhlanga, Umhloti and Umgababa. He says that they are hoping to do them in November, by the end of November latest, but by the very outside, he reckons they will all be open by December the 11th. That's just in time for the tourism season. And he also says that they're checking E.coli levels. They will not open the beaches if their E.coli levels are not below the 500 mark. So there's also a commitment to be safe, even though they're eager to get those beaches open. And he says they're working round the clock with getting the infrastructure sorted out in time for the holiday season.